Hello friends, this is Dr. Aman Sharma and welcome to UK Dreamers. So in today's video, we'll be talking about the number of leaves, the type of leaves that you can take and you're entitled to while you work in the NHS. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do that. Let's go. So leaves are a big thing for all of us, isn't it? Meeting a family, planning something out with the kids, going out and having some time for relaxation. So you should be aware of how many leaves you're entitled to. What are the different types of leaves you can use instead for your annual leaves, for instance. So in this video, I'll talk about the types of leaves, what's your entitlement, what to do and what not to do. Alright, so watch this video till the end. So the first leave that we mostly hear are the annual leaves. So you get a set of 27 days which you can take as leaves. These are called the annual leaves. The way to take these leaves is you have to contact your rota manager, you have to contact a medical staffing. Different different trusts may use a different sort of system, but as a thumb of general rule, it is said that you have to apply these leaves about 42 days in advance so that the adequate staffing criteria is met, the patients are safe, and the staffing looks good. But at times, if you're rotating to different departments, this might not be very much applicable, isn't it? So as I said, this may depend on the departments you're rotating, the managers who are taking care of your rota, and so many things. There's another additional 8 bank holidays entitled to this. So what are bank holidays? These are the days where the entire nation gets a holiday, and you can go and Google it out. Like for instance, if you've got Christmas, you've got New Year, you've got some leaves like Easter and all. There's so many leaves that you get usually as bank holidays. So few trusts would by default give you these days as off. Few trusts would ask you that you need to bid for it to get the day off. Whereas if you're doing these things or if the bank holiday is falling on your on-call days, for instance, you're doing twilight shifts, on-calls, nights, you might not be getting these leaves. But what you can get is in lieu of for these days instead. If we talk about the annual leaves now, most of the departments would usually be happy giving you the annual leaves. However, if you've got on-calls, if you've got weekends, if you've got nights, you'll have to swap these shifts with someone, some of your friends or colleagues in order to get a big stretch of leaves. Like most of us who watch my channel are foreign medical graduates, we would like to go back to our home countries, visit family, friends, whatever. So if you're spending that much money, you would usually think, oh, I should go for 25 days or so. But you would have weekends and on-calls and stuff. So you have to mandatory get those things sorted, and then only you can go for long leaves. Otherwise, those 2 days would create a big of a hustle for you, and you would not be getting the big stretch of leaves. However, for specialty doctors, this is slightly different because they get their rotas for 6 months. So for instance, if I am working as a specialty doctor and my next rota is coming out in July, and I want to plan a leave that I want to go home in August, I can apply for those leaves. As a perk of being a specialty doctor, the rota manager will have to accept your request, and they can't deny it. So you would get those big stretch of leaves despite if your night falls, your weekend falls. But as I said, again, it depends on the trust you work. Few would grant, few won't. So that makes us to come to the second sort of leaves that you can apply. It's not, I would say, entitled leave or something, but it's more of a generosity, isn't it? Because the second is sick leave. If you're not well, you're not feeling well, fever, cold, cough, body aches, anything, you just don't feel that you can't, when you go to work, you won't be able to give you 100%. So you call in sick. Calling in sick, you have to inform the on-call team, you have to inform the medical staffing, you have to inform the ward consultants, the rota managers. It looks slightly tight, but it isn't. You have to email them all. You have to call. Usually there's a sick line. You need to call them and let them be aware what's happening. The rules of sick leave does not apply that if you're on call, you can't take it. If you are genuinely that unwell, yes, you have to take it. But when you're doing nights, weekends, the staffing is also at the minimal staffing. So if you withdraw from the shift if you don't report, your rest of the team suffers. So what I would advise is, if you're genuinely unwell, take it. If not, try to go to the work, try to support your colleagues. A slight tricky thing to the sick leaves is, any leaves which you've taken less than 7 days, you can take the leave, you can stop the leave and go back to work. Okay, that works well. But in case you've taken a leave but you did not report coming back to the work, so you would be marked as absent and you would get the sick pay leave, which is way lower. So trust me, taking a sick leave, make sure you've informed every possible person. Coming back to work, please make sure that you should respond to the medical staffing. Let them know that, okay, I'm back, please take me off the sick leave. In case you are unwell and the sickness goes beyond 7 days, you will have to involve your GP, who is going to provide the sick note. It can be, for instance, you're just not well, you're having some illness, you had a fracture, some surgery or something. So, for everything, please always involve your GP. It's very vital because they are essentially responsible for your health in the UK. And what else? One more thing. I've heard a couple of times that people have taken sick leaves and they've gone somewhere else and picked the extra shift, done locum. This is unethical, guys. Please don't do this. It's not worth it. If you get reported to the GMC, it's just not worth it. Don't do it. Okay. All right. So we come to the third set of leave, which is compassionate leave. Compassionate leave, for instance, there is a bereavement in the family. Yeah. So of course, if there's a death in the family, you need to be with your loved ones. You need to be with the family and the friends. So you can apply for compassionate leave. If there's a person who's very sick in the family who needs, to be taken care of, then also you can apply for compassionate leave. And usually I would say the people in the NHS are not completely, I would say, they still have the empathy. So, if you've got something, yes, they would consider it and you would get the compassionate leave. Other than this, if you talk about leaves, basically, as you can say, there can be some unauthorized absences. I won't call them leaves. It's unauthorized absences. If you're taking part in industrial action, this can comply and this can be labeled as unauthorized leaves. You'll have to keep a track record of them, because if you want to apply for ILR, that would be needed. Though if you're participating in the industrial action, it's not illegal, it's legally, but it's still unauthorized absence, basically. The last but not the least is the study leaves. So for instance, you want to attend conferences, workshops, do some simulation sessions, go attend some teaching sessions and whatnot. So this you can apply under the umbrella of study leaves. Every hospital trust has its own way of applying this. Some have a paper printed form, some do it online. The main gist to this is you should be fully up to date with your mandatory trainings. If you don't have your mandatory trainings, your study leave might be denied. And just give them a thorough reasoning that you're attending this conference. Give them the proof that this is the attending of the conference, this is the brochures and whatnot, and should be okay. There should not be much of an issue. I think I've covered all the leaves or the sort of absences that can happen while you're at work. But yeah, if you're not feeling well, for instance, if you've done a night shift, you're not feeling well in the morning, let your morning team know so they can allow some time for other people to take that shift and it does not go vacant. It does not add an additional pressure or stress to your already on-call teams. Just try to be good to your colleagues and should be okay. Make sure annual leaves. Oh, one more thing. People ask me this: can I take annual leave and do a bank shift on that? Yes, for annual leaves you can do that, but it's good to have some time off and go and chill with your family. Alright guys, till then, keep liking the videos. I'll meet you in the next video. Cheers, bye.